Y'all buckle up, because what if I told you that while gospel legend Tamela Mann was lying in a hospital bed, hooked up to IVs, sedated out of her mind, barely whispering, "Take me to the king," her own husband, David Mann, was out here saying, "I do" to Dr. Jackie? Yep, you heard that right. A secret wedding, a backroom ceremony, and a son who's done staying silent. Tamela's son just dropped the biggest bombshell yet. And it's not just about pills, betrayal, or burner phones anymore. This man straight up claims his dad secretly married the same doctor who was supposed to be saving his mother's life. Like, how do you go from gospel tours to a whole side wife while your actual wife is fighting for her life? And baby, this ain't no rumor. There are leaked vows, suspicious travelogues, and a marriage license that's got more red flags than a Real Housewives reunion. So if you thought Tiffany's exposé was wild, wait till you hear what her brother just laid down, because the gospel ain't never seen a mess like this. Let's get into it. Let's take it back. Way back. Before the hashtags. Before the Instagram lives. Before the gospel empire cracked open like an Easter egg full of snakes. Because what we're about to reveal will make you question everything you ever thought was pure in gospel entertainment. Tamela Mann, the queen of Sunday devotion, the matriarch of Black inspiration, the voice that held entire families together, was being slowly broken from within. But this ain't just a cheating scandal, y'all. This is betrayal dressed in holy robes, with a stethoscope around its neck. And this time, it wasn't Tiffany. It wasn't Portia. The bomb didn't drop from a daughter. No, ma'am. This time, it was Tamela's own son, David Mann Jr., who finally ripped the veil off his father's smiling mask. And baby, what he uncovered. It ain't just tea. It's straight-up hydrochloric acid. In a leaked voice note posted anonymously to a Gospel Expo forum, David Jr. claims he found legal documents. Marriage records. Yes, you heard that right. Marriage records. Showing a secret civil marriage between David Mann and Dr. Jackie, filed quietly in a Nevada county office. While Tamela was sedated in a private hospital suite, battling for her life. Let that marinate. Her husband, the same man who stood by her side on gospel tours, smiled in family interviews, preached about commitment and godly love, was allegedly already legally married to her own doctor. Not after Tamela passed. Not in the future. While she was still alive. David Jr. said, "I ain't proud to be saying this, but it's time. My mom deserves the truth. My siblings and I all saw the signs, but I was the one who found the license. It was real, notarized, sealed, and hidden." He continued, "It was filed in Henderson, Nevada, 2 years ago. Not 6 months. Not a recent thing. My father married Dr. Jackie 2 years ago." Now pause. What kind of monster marries another woman while his wife is fighting for her life? And not just any woman. The doctor in charge of her care. It's giving Lifetime movie. It's giving Criminal Conspiracy. It's giving Get Out, Gospel Edition. But David Jr. wasn't done. Because he also claims that Dr. Jackie wasn't just treating Tamela. She was controlling her medication, her mental health records, her physical access to her family, and allegedly, her finances. According to the voice note, David Jr. says, "We were told not to visit too much. Jackie said mom needed rest. But when we did come, she looked worse every time. Confused. Weak. Sometimes even drugged. And my dad would just brush it off, she's healing. Nah. She was deteriorating." The Mann children started getting suspicious. Tiffany, who had already voiced concerns about her mom's sudden health dips, confronted Jackie once at the hospital. Allegedly, Jackie told her, "Sometimes patients need separation to heal. Too many family visits disrupt except Tamela wasn't recovering. She was declining fast. And then the pills." According to Portia, Tama was being given medications she never agreed to, ones that allegedly came from Jackie's private prescription pad, not the hospital's in-house pharmacy. David Jr. later uncovered a bottle that had no pharmacy label, just a white sticker with Jackie's initials. That's not just unethical, that's criminal. And here's where it gets straight up evil. According to David Jr., Their father, David Mann, convinced Tama to sign over her medical power of attorney in early 2022. But Tama's memory of that event is foggy at best. She doesn't remember the meeting. She doesn't remember the papers. And there's no legal video recording or a third-party witness. Which means David Mann and Dr. Jackie may have gained full legal control over Tamela's life, while secretly married, and no one even knew. And yes, you better believe the Mann children are pissed. Tiffany reportedly broke down during a private family meeting and said, "I knew something was wrong. I knew Jackie was more than just a doctor. The way Dad looked at her, it was off. It was possessive." But get this. The moment Portia confronted her father with a screenshot of the marriage license, he didn't deny it. David Jr. says he just said, "You don't understand grown folks' business." Grown folks' business, sir? This ain't about grown-ups. This is about morality. This is about loyalty. This is about your wife. But if you thought the drama stopped there, buckle up, because the Mann kids uncovered a private storage unit rented by David and Jackie under a shell LLC. Inside, allegedly, boxes of Tamela's medical records, voice recordings, financial papers, and even signed contracts for posthumous music releases. Let that sink in. They were allegedly preparing to release Tamela's unfinished gospel albums after her death. Do so? The big question is, were they waiting for her to die, or trying to make it happen? Because the timing is sickening. The hidden pills, the secret marriage, the forged power of attorney, the undisclosed storage unit, the financial arrangements. And now, with David Jr.'s voice memo leaked and this new marriage license blowing up all over social media, fans are calling it the biggest betrayal in gospel history. #TamaTruth is trending again. Gospel blogs are swarming. People are now calling Dr. Jackie the Black Widow in Prada. And David Mann? Oh, he's being dragged like a choir robe through church mud. A gospel pastor even went viral saying, "If this is the fruit of David Mann's tree, y'all better check what kind of spirit he's really working with." And church ain't having it either. One church in Houston has reportedly canceled all Mann family bookings indefinitely, citing moral concerns and disturbing allegations. So where does part 1 end? Right here, with the family cracking from the inside, with Tamela's own kids drawing a line in the sand, and with David Jr. saying, "My mom doesn't even know yet. She's still recovering. But when she finds out what he did, we may never be able to put her heart back together again." Let's jump right back in, because if you thought the secret marriage bombshell was wild, buckle up. This ain't just messy. It's radioactive. We're talking forged documents, coded payments, celebrity silence, and a $1.2 million insurance policy with Tamela's name on it. Rewind. Tamela Mann, the gospel icon we all grew up listening to, crying to, worshiping to, is now the unsuspecting center of what fans are calling a full-blown gospel assassination plot. And the alleged culprits? Her own husband, David Mann, and Dr. Jackie, her trusted physician, and now her secret replacement wife. Because now that Tamela's son, David Jr., has exposed that hush-hush Nevada marriage license between David and Jackie, the internet's digging up receipts faster than a Kardashian scandal. Here's what we found. An anonymous source, who claims to have worked for David and Jackie's legal management firm, sent a tip to a gospel blog, complete with scans of a life. An insurance policy taken out in Tamela Mann's name just 6 months before her first hospitalization. But get this. Guess who the beneficiary was? Not David Mann. Not any of Tamela's kids. It was an LLC. A business entity called Faith Forward Holdings. Now that might sound like a Christian brand, but baby, when you dig into the registry, it's owned by a certain Jacqueline Walters Mann. Yep, Dr. Jackie. Now we've got a life insurance policy worth over $1 million tied to an LLC owned by a woman secretly married to the policyholder's husband, while that policyholder was fighting for her life in a hospital. You cannot make this stuff up. Let's talk money, because nothing screams cover-up like shady bank activity. David Jr. says that he pulled up the family's joint bank account records from early 2023 and noticed repeated wire transfers to an Atlanta-based boutique medical clinic. One that isn't even listed under Tamela's care network. Total? over $95,000 in unexplained transfers. And here's the kicker. One of the memos on the wire transfer read, Supplemental Sedation Program, Month 3, excuse me? What kind of supplemental sedation is being bought off record for a gospel singer? Unless, well, David Jr. said it best. They weren't helping my mom heal. They were helping her sleep, so she couldn't ask questions. And fans are connecting the dots, fast. Suddenly, all those viral interviews where Tamela looked exhausted, disoriented, even slurring a little, they're being replayed like a Zapruder film. People are saying she wasn't tired. She was overmedicated. Then David Jr. dropped another bombshell. He hired a tech expert to recover deleted messages from one of his dad's backup iCloud accounts. And what he found? Dozens of texts between David Mann and Dr. Jackie, using code names like Sanctuary and Gospel Flame. One message, dated February 17, 2023, reads, "Once the light fades, we'll be free to worship in truth." Another, "Don't worry about her tour. The voice will be gone before the stage is." What does that mean? Because if that's not a euphemism for silencing Tamela permanently, then someone better explain it fast. In a new court filing submitted by Tamela Mann on her mother's behalf, the family is demanding a full forensic medical audit of all treatments administered between 2021 to 2024.
Why?
Because, according to the lawsuit, Tamela's medication log contains irregularities, including dosages higher than medically approved for her age and weight, psychiatric meds never prescribed by hospital doctors, 3 different entries showing doctor override. Let's break that down. J equals Jackie Walters Mann. That's right. Dr. Jackie was allegedly overriding hospital orders without proper documentation while being married to the patient's husband. That's not just a conflict of interest, that's medical malpractice on steroids. With pressure mounting, the gospel music community can't stay quiet any longer. The Gospel Music Association issued a public statement saying they are deeply disturbed by the revelations and are launching an internal review of David Mann's recent award nominations and sponsorship deals. The Stellar Awards quietly pulled a 2022 promotional video featuring David and Dr. Jackie. And some fans are even demanding that David Mann's gospel catalog be temporarily removed from streaming platforms until the investigation is resolved. One gospel radio host tweeted, "We were praising next to predators. This ain't no fall from grace. This is a full-blown betrayal." Even veteran gospel singer Yolanda Green went on IG Live and said, "I shared a stage with Tamela in 2023. She was struggling to breathe between songs, and David kept whispering to her to push through. Now I know why." Behind the scenes, sources say the Mann household is in complete disarray. Tiffany and Portia are fully siding with David Jr., supporting the legal action against their own father. But one sibling, allegedly Tamela and David's youngest son, is still loyal to his dad. He posted a cryptic Insta story with a black background that read, "Family is complicated. Don't believe everything you read. Some of y'all love mess more than truth." That message has since been deleted. But Tamela's real family, her fans, aren't playing that game. They've started tagging gospel news pages with hashtags like #ProtectTamela, #JackieGoToJail. Things have gotten so intense that Tamela's legal team has hired private security at the wellness center where she's recovering. Reports say unknown individuals were caught trying to access the patient wing last week, allegedly requesting a quick look at the gospel legend. It's unclear if it was paparazzi or someone more sinister, but either way, Tamela is now under 24/7 watch. David Jr. said in a now viral video, "Until this is all over, we're protecting her with everything we've got. We almost lost her once. It's not happening again." And if you thought the secret marriage couldn't get more real, a gospel gossip blog just dropped the hammer. 2 grainy photos from a private hotel room in Nevada show what looks like David Mann in a tuxedo, standing next to Dr. Jackie in a white jumpsuit, veil, and red bottom heels. The room is decorated with silk roses and LED candles. And on the table, a 2-tier cake that says, "Forever Sanctified." The blog claims the photos were taken in 2022, just 2 months after Tamela was placed in a medically induced coma. Let that sink in. Fans are losing their minds. The comments are savage. Tamela was fighting for her life, and he was at a suite with a wedding cake? This ain't just betrayal. This is spiritual war. Dr. Jackie better pray her license lasts the week. Even pastors are stepping in. A popular Dallas preacher went viral saying, "The gospel doesn't hide behind deceit." If these allegations are true, David Mann ain't no man of God. He's a wolf in tenor's clothing. And that's where part 2 leaves us, gasping. With millions watching, lawyers digging, fans revolting, and a secret marriage so corrupt, even soap operas are jealous. But hold on tight, because in part 3, we go deeper into federal investigations, secret tapes, church fallout, and a final twist that could send both David and Jackie straight to jail. Just when you thought the rabbit hole couldn't go any deeper, here comes the part that turns this from a scandal into a full-blown federal case. Because after the wedding photos, after the forged documents, after the so-called sedation protocols, Tamela's family uncovered something even more damning: audio recordings, actual tapes. And if what David Jr. claims is true, then we're talking about recorded evidence of David Mann and Dr. Jackie plotting not just control, but a permanent transition of power. Let's break it down. The recordings were allegedly pulled from a home surveillance system Tamela had installed years ago, a system David Mann thought had been disabled. But one backup server still existed. And Portia. While going through her mom's old electronics, Portia found the hard drive. What was on it? Hours of security footage, including voice-triggered audio from their in-home office. And in one clip dated March 9th, 2023, just 2 days before Tamela was placed back into the ICU, David can be heard saying, "She's getting suspicious again. We can't afford another delay." Then Jackie replies, "We stick to the plan. Increase the dosage. She'll rest, and the paperwork will be done before she wakes up." You could hear papers being shuffled in the background. You could hear a pen click. And then Jackie says something that made fans' stomachs turn. When she opens her eyes again, she won't remember anything. Just your version. David laughs. That laugh has now gone viral on TikTok, used in over 3 million videos and memes. But this isn't just internet drama anymore. This is evidence. Tamela's legal team immediately turned the hard drive over to authorities. The Department of Justice has reportedly opened an official investigation, while the state medical board is launching an emergency review of Dr. Jackie's license. And here's where it gets even darker. An internal source from the hospital Tamela was taken to in late 2023 revealed that a nurse had filed a quiet complaint about Dr. Jackie's involvement. According to that anonymous tip, Jackie had shown up to the hospital uninvited, not on staff, and insisted on updating Tamela's chart herself. When questioned, she allegedly said, "I'm her attending physician. It's urgent." But Tamela was already under a different care team, and somehow, Jackie's edits were never flagged until now. That same source says the altered chart included a note stating, "Mental instability. Nonverbal state likely permanent," which directly justified the need for external power of attorney. And guess who filed for that power? Just 48 hours later? David Mann. Coincidence? Please. Fans aren't having it. Hashtags like #Justice for Tamela and #JackieNeedsToGo are trending across social media. Gospel forums are exploding with users combing through years of performances, interviews, and tour schedules, pointing out moments where Tamela seemed not herself. Even old family vlogs are now being re-examined. One YouTube clip from a family barbecue in 2022 shows Tamela visibly confused when asked about upcoming tour dates. She turns to David, and he answers for her. At the time, fans thought it was just a cute couple moment. Now, it looks like control. And while the world is catching its breath, Portia and David Jr. are taking legal action to the next level. They filed a multi-state lawsuit accusing David Mann and Dr. Jackie of conspiracy to commit medical fraud, financial exploitation, identity forgery, emotional abuse, attempted legal theft of a legacy brand, and what's wild? That lawsuit also names 2 media companies allegedly involved in the cover-up, one PR agency and one entertainment law firm. Why? Because David and Jackie weren't just planning to take over Tamela's life. They were allegedly planning to rebrand her story. According to recovered email drafts, there was a rollout strategy for a docu-series called Walking Through Fire, starring David Mann as the grieving husband and Dr. Jackie as the wellness advocate. It was going to be a faith-based reality series about loss, healing, and moving forward after medical tragedy. The kicker? The first episode pitch was written 6 months before Tamela ever got sick. Now, if that doesn't scream premeditated, what does? And while this real-life horror show plays out in court, gospel radio is going silent. Tamela songs, once played every hour on the hour, are now followed by somber commentary. Fans are calling into shows in tears. Some feel complicit, like they cheered her on, unaware she was suffering. One caller said, "I used to think David was the dream husband. Now I feel sick for ever saying that." Churches that used to book David for conferences and workshops are canceling contracts. One pastor released a full statement to his congregation, apologizing for platforming a man now accused of violating every sacred vow he claimed to represent. And what about Dr. Jackie? Her team issued a vague press release calling the claims outrageous and defamatory. But legal insiders say she's already retained 3 separate defense attorneys. Not a good sign. Her clinic in Atlanta? Quietly closed for renovations. Meanwhile, Tamela, the woman at the center, and at the center of it all, Tamela Mann is slowly beginning to recover. A leaked video showed her in a wheelchair, gently humming a gospel hymn under her breath as her daughter held her hand. That clip alone shattered hearts and reignited the fire in her fans. Because this ain't just about a scandal. This is about a voice silenced, a soul almost erased, a legacy nearly stolen. But the Mann kids are not playing. Tiffany, Portia, and David Jr. are standing tall, saying, "We won't let our mother's life be rewritten by liars." And in a final twist that could bring the entire house of cards crashing down, Portia just revealed there's another USB. Yes, another one. The second drive, anonymously mailed from an address in Atlanta, reportedly contains full financial records from Faith Forward Holdings, the LLC registered under Dr. Jackie's name. The files include payouts to media consultants, hush money to former staff, scheduled wellness retreats booked at luxury resorts under alias names. One of those names? TND renewal session. TND equals Tamela and David. Except Tamela was never invited. So ask yourself, if this wellness session was supposed to be about a couple's spiritual healing, why was Tamela in ICU while David and Jackie were in a 5-star villa in Turks and Caicos? And here's where it all converges. The feds now have both USBs. The hospital has launched an ethics probe. Dr. Jackie's license is under emergency review. David Mann's assets are frozen, pending court approval. And gospel fans? They've stopped clapping and started demanding justice. We started this story with faith, love, and gospel praise. But it ends with betrayal, legal warfare, and a woman who almost lost her life while the people closest to her were plotting their rise. Tamela Mann was supposed to be a voice for the broken. Instead, she became the target of a twisted plan, dressed in gospel gowns and white coats. But her children? They stepped up. They shattered the silence. They cracked the lie wide open. And now, it's Judgment Day. Stay tuned, because what comes next might just change gospel music forever. So now that the smoke has cleared, at least for a moment, let's take a deep breath and ask the only question that matters. How many more secrets are hiding behind those gospel smiles? Because if this is what's going on behind closed doors at the so-called First Family of Faith, then baby, I'm scared to check what's happening backstage at your favorite